divided for 6 decades now, meaning that there's North and South Korea. North Korea is a totalitarian state, and South Korea is a capitalist state, meaning that their cultures obviously develop differently. When you ask a Korean what do they identify as, they won't tell you they're Korean. They'll either tell you they're Northern or Southern Korean. And because the cultures are different, we decided to look at them both. The biggest difference that there is in the Koreas between the people is honestly the ability to not to feel free, but to be able to voice their opinions. So basically in North Korea, you're not allowed to think how you want to think or actually say what you think because of that totalitarian dictatorship that exists, in comparison to South Korea, where there's not total freedom, but there is that sense that you can say what you want when you want, in a way. Both countries do live in a hierarchy system. However, it is different for both. For example, in North Korea, the hierarchy system goes from loyal to criminal, which is and in that system, it's really hard to get from one place to another. You can't progress in Southern Korea. In comparison to South Korea, which is it's not better or different, it's just they have a hierarchy system, but through education and life you can progress through the hierarchy system, as you would say. Also, the differences you can see in the cultures is in the language, which South Koreans refer to as North Korean language as being the pure form, or like the pure dialect, kind of, because Southern Korea, their language developed as they went and exported and communicated with other countries. Their language kind of spread, and that's how they were able to develop their dialect a little bit more in comparison to North Korea. The cuisine, they also vary a lot because North Korea doesn't have exposure. Their cuisine is a little bit more traditional, and thus is the same for South Korea, where they have a variety because they're able to connect with other cultures like the United States. North Korean cuisine is traditional because South Korea has its exposure and an ability to connect with the world. Their cuisine is more varied, but still similar to North Korea. They also have cold noodles, but there's a variety. They're spicy. There's different ingredients that go into it. Kimchi in South Korea is like very important. That's one aspect of their cuisine. They can't have it. They can't eat without having kimchi. Basically, it's like important that they have it with them. And also Korean barbecue. What we see in Southern Korea is that and North Korea allows the families to connect after a long day, where they sit in the middle of kind of a grill to talk about the day and then cook, where the youngest child actually cooks, or the youngest present at the table.
In terms of the economic aspects of both the Koreas, North Korea's GDP tends to be around 12.38 billion US dollars, in comparison to South Korea's, which is 1.531 trillion dollars. In terms of their GDPs, this places South Korea as the 4th largest Asian economy and the 14th largest overall world economy. And as for North Korea, unfortunately, is more towards the bottom end of the GDP spectrum. In terms of exports, South Korea has been known for electronic products, machinery, motor vehicles, steel, ships, and textile. In terms of North Korea, they are more known for the pure minerals, some manufactured good, textiles, and agriculture, as well as some fishery products. And in terms of their economic outlooks for the future, North Korea is most likely to adopt the Vietnamese model in terms of the economic development, while South Korea is again continuing to develop, as it is, as stated before, the 4th largest Asian economy and the 14th largest global economy. And as in terms of South Korea, it is much more towards an economic development. South Korea is showing large amounts of growth, going from approximately 2% growth in 2018 to approximately 3.1% growth.
around, it's around.
I just want the Galbi BBQ combo.
Kind of tastes like chicken.
Alright, so I got the Osam barbecue, which is marinated spicy pork belly and squid with vegetables. So. That smells good. That smells good. Smell it.
There's the good salmon.
So I got the chicken skewer, which is grilled barbecue chicken with some spicy sauce on it. Alright, so I'm gonna try a piece of Francisco skewer. Good. So I got the grilled whole mackerel with a side of spinach and onions and a lemon.
So I have the galbi, which is beef barbecue short ribs, as recommended by the waitress.
So I got a little piece of spicy pork belly, and they also gave us a little bowl of rice. So I ended up having the pork belly and squid entree, and in my personal opinion, the taste was really good, but the squid had a chewy and rubbery texture, which was kind of weird, but nevertheless, the experience was unique and the service was generous.
In my opinion, Korean barbecue was really good. I really enjoyed trying new food and getting out of my comfort zone and attempting to eat with chopsticks. The dish I ordered, which was the grilled mackerel, was delicious. It was juicy, well prepared, and plus the side dishes we were given made it even better. The food at Korean barbecue does remind me of similar dishes I've tried before. However, I'd say the toppings is what made it stand out a bit more.
I had the chicken skewer and the meat on it was very smooth. It wasn't chewy. And the sauce it had made it taste very sweet. Not too sweet, but just good enough. I also had a chance to try Kevin's fish. And personally, I don't like fish. So to me, it tasted very sour and bitter. But for a fish, it wasn't bad. I also tried Justin's squid. And that was my first time trying squid. But the squid was a bit chewy, but it was still enjoyable. I would completely recommend this restaurant to anybody else looking for Korean barbecue food. And I think that it is completely worth the price we had to pay for it.
Honestly, what I tried was the grilled salmon, and the main way I can describe it is it was slightly dry salmon. I really don't know how to describe the taste, mainly because of the fact that upon the first bite, my tongue burned a bit, so most of my taste buds were somewhat lost. But one thing I would recommend if you ever try it, add the lemon first. Please add the lemon first. That probably would have saved my taste buds the first time if I had.
At the restaurant, I had a beef galbi, which is basically a really tender and juicy version of short ribs that is sweet and juicy compared to the short ribs that I'm used to eating at family gatherings, which are usually dry and taste kind of charred. The taste was really surprising because I was expecting that charred flavor that I'm used to, but instead got a juicy soy sauce type of flavor when I had the first bite. I really enjoyed my time at the restaurant and recommend it to anyone interested in Korean barbecue